that is a true fear I do have, that God will take me before I'm able to raise my kids and give them all the love that I can pour into them.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to understand that opening up that door to the other side, to God, to having your spirituality, it is just really mind-blowing how beautiful it is when you feel that centeredness happening inside your heart.
Welcome to Living God's Light, a podcast to help you strengthen your spirituality and your connection with God. We are so happy to have you as a part of the Living God's Light family.
Welcome back to the Living God's Light podcast. This is part two of our conversation with Barbara Bartolome. It was such an incredible conversation in part one. And if you have not yet seen that, be sure to catch that, where she shares her NDE story and her and Vinney compared notes of what it was like experiencing their NDEs. Let's get back to the conversation.
This is a great talk, Vinney. You know, I love who you are.
I love you too.
I love your center, your core is so beautiful, Vinney. And I'm glad you're giving that out as a gift to the world. I really am, because that is going to plant seeds everywhere. And you guys, thank you for doing what you do. You know, all of you doing this podcast.
Well, this woman on the Today Show really inspired me. She was talking about her NDE.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Can you imagine those hearts that are, the seed that's planted in those hearts, that they can then, keep thinking about that and help them change their view on death and afterlife, but also spirituality and life itself. That's going to be the big change for them, to alter their life because of how this affects what they see and everything else. So
when you were talking about, so people who've had near-death experiences, they've got that heightened awareness. They're like, spirit speaks through their intuition, which I'm very grateful you said that, because, and then Vinney said people who read, or kind of, I would say partly read, but I would say also listening to podcasts. Really, I see it as immersing your intention and your consciousness in that zone.
Yes.
That other people can start picking up on that. And I just want to say that is exactly what happened to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I've talked before on here. I went probably 30 years thinking that I didn't really get or recognize spiritual impressions. Just some experiences I had when I was younger that kind of put that assumption in my brain. It was an incorrect assumption. And then Vinney asked me to help write the Light After Death. And over the course of working on the book was working on me, and I didn't know it. And it was after we got done with it, it was in editing. And I was talking with some people about Drake and that whole process, and I felt Drake's presence show up. And I recognized it as Drake. And the reason I knew it was Drake is because now it was familiar. He had been away for a little bit because the book was in editing and I wasn't working on it. But when he came back, it was familiar, but it was kind of a growing familiarity. My wife's always been super sensitive. And she said when we were close to being done with the book that she always knew when I was working on it because my office felt different. There were different people there.
Oh, really?
And now... And then, with Drake, when I felt that I flipped a switch, I was like, oh, that's what this feels like. And then when I started leaning into that, I started recognizing the slight variations in the intuition, where now I could say, oh, kind of like Vinney said, okay, this isn't really me. This is somebody else helping me. Where now, sometimes I can tell, but not always. And some of the times is because I don't even care where it comes from. I now see us all as part of a big team, and I'm just the physical manifestation of that team.
It's beautiful. And when you can put your effort towards this and give that gift away, that's what they want you to do. And I really feel that's why they plant these NDEs in our lives, in different people's lives. And Vinney, that's why we talk about it, because that's the gift that we give away to those people. That's the purpose in my life. That's why I came back. So
To me, it's like mining gold, sharing the experiences, watching the gold rise up, watching the inspiration rise up in the listener. But even really neat for me is to watch people's eyes who've had experiences listen and think, okay, now I can share mine. It's like watching new episodes of IANDS coming out every season. It's a really neat process for me anyway.
yeah, absolutely. I totally get that too. Yeah, when people talk about their near-death experiences, initially they're like, should I talk about this? Should I give details? But once they're open and they give the details, and it's so amazing, and you've had it yourself, it's just like repetition of your own NDE, but different little variables.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beautiful. It's just, I don't know, it feels like family to me, and I feel so happy that I'm connected.
It is family. And I told that to Lynn. First time we went there, I go, you know what? This actually feels like I just met my family.
It totally is. I wouldn't want to miss
Yeah.
an IANDS conference for anything in the world. And yeah, it's just, I don't even want to go home after the conference. I'm like, everybody stay. Can we all move in together? Can we have,
Well, Barbara, did you know that
sort of a big property?
Did you know we're doing a Living God's Light conference?
No, I didn't know that, and I will come. When is it?
May 2nd through 4th in Vegas, Vinney Stomping Grounds.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Good.
we're hoping to do that same sort of a thing, create that same feeling, that same vibe among everybody there. So we're the IANDS
Vinney,
conference
this
has been
is
an
so
inspiration.
cool. Oh my gosh, I had no idea, and yes, I'm going to try to come. You got it.
Oh, you're so sweet.
If you come, you're going to be my VIP host, okay?
Oh,
or I'll be your VIP host.
Okay, yes, okay, good. You can take me all around. I'm not very familiar with Vegas. I think I've been there twice, but yeah, that's a pretty neat place with all those lights and wild stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing in this town where there's great dark, there's also great light.
Yeah,
And,
that's important.
And there's
for
some
you.
really neat people here in this town. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's one thing there's one thing I'd really like to touch on, because as you guys have been talking, I am one of those people that had no concept of NDEs. I had they were not even on my radar at all. I wonder now, with how many people have had them, how have I never heard of them? But if I had never heard of them, many other people have not heard of them. And I remember when I heard Vinney's story for the first time, it was so sacred to me that I wouldn't share it with people. It's very similar in that you felt like it was so sacred you couldn't share, because it felt so personal. Like, Vinney, your story, I felt like was my story. Like, I just took it and it was mine. This is my book, and don't you dare question what I had experienced while reading this book, right? And it's interesting because I understand now that my timing had to be just right to have that awareness, to open my heart up to it. And I think this is a question for both Vinney and Barbara, is what would you say to somebody who is just barely for the first time opening up their heart to spirituality, to the idea that heaven is literally right here with us? What kind of encouragement and words would you say to them?
Go ahead, Vinney.
I would say imagine truth to be a pyramid. And the best way to know a pyramid is to walk all around it, get up in a plane and look down on it, dig underneath it, climb it. And that's how you get to know a pyramid. But you could have 5 different people in a room describing what they see a pyramid as. And the guy who lives up in the clouds looking down, he says it's a square. The guy down on the ground says it's this funky looking triangle. The guy from one angle says it's this weird looking angle that you see. And the person living underground says it's just darkness. I can't see anything. And so that pyramid, it's figuratively all of these near-death experiences. Each time you hear one, you're getting a better perspective. You don't need to, just sign on to one experience as your truth. What I do recommend, though, is go out there and find what speaks to you in these experiences. And when you're finding something that speaks to you the way that my experience, spoke to you, because your soul knew that you were going to eventually be doing a podcast about this experience. I didn't know that. You didn't know, none of us actually knew that, but your soul knew it. So your soul made sure that the first time you heard it, that it was very precious to you. And so to me, to get to know what that pyramid is, to get to know what the truth is, go and look at it from all angles, get as many as you can, and you will find some that just really speak to you. There's other ones that I've heard and I'm like, oh, it doesn't resonate at all with me. Those are really rare though. I would say the majority, there's a portion, or even a little piece that resonates with me and my experience. Almost all of them. So yeah, that's what I say. Look that way at these. And here's the thing, you could eat up your time with entertainment on, HBO or Netflix or Prime, or you could actually uplift yourself. And I say, uplift yourself now and then, or all day, every day,
Exactly.
but do it more often. And that's what this is. It's a positive influence for us.
Mhm. Absolutely. There are distressing near-death experiences out there. They always estimate between 1% and 10% of near-death experiences, the person has a distressing situation, like feeling like they're in hell or something. My feeling on those distressing ones are that the person has felt as though they have done things in their life that caused them to be cast into hell or something. I don't think most people have those near-death experiences because I don't believe that hell is real. I think that's something that's taught, but it's in religion, but I don't think it's real. I didn't feel anything like that in my experience. There was no choice. It was just only God and love and warmth and kindness and beauty and acceptance. There wasn't any. And I've probably done things that I don't think I should go to hell for, but everybody makes mistakes in their lives. But yeah, I think it's important for people to understand that opening up that door to the other side, to God, to having your spirituality, it is just really mind-blowing how beautiful it is when you feel that centeredness happening inside your heart, that you feel connected and you're not worried about anything in your life. You know that everything is going to be fine. Let go, let God. I think that's really important for everybody to get to the point where they understand that, just live your life, make other people happy, help others to see good things and share good things, and just everything positive that you can do. And I think that's the way to make your own life happy as well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, from my observation too, I've since I came out with IANDS and I started sharing mine publicly a lot more, I really have dove into a lot of these experiences where they experience some kind of hell. And what I found as a common thread in almost 100% of them is their body was still alive while they were experiencing that hell. And feeling the soul leaving the body in a slow process, I feel like that would probably be very suffocating, very hellish-like. But notice this, the other common thread in almost 100% of the hell experiences is the second they reach out for deity, it ends. The second that they reach for deity.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep.
One thing I just want to point out is with what you guys just said, Vinney, you said, if you listen to other ones, typically you have something else that resonates with you. Barbara, your story, it's going to make me emotional again. Your story of you can't leave your babies. Like, that's my fear in this. Like, that is a true fear I do have, that God will take me before I'm able to raise my kids and give them all the love that I can pour into them. And so I just want to say, like, my heart is open now to more stories because, it is my time to hear more stories. And thank you so much for sharing that. It just resonates so deeply in my heart. Like, that is what would keep me on earth. My babies. I need to see them at least get to the point where they can take care of themselves. So
Yeah, because I
thank
knew
you.
that my son was already being abused by the husband. So I knew that that would happen eventually to the daughter as well. And so it was, a wonderful outcome to find a way out of that situation and to find a way. And I have an interesting way I found my current husband. I was afraid, absolutely, after I left the bad guy, I was afraid of dating anybody. I had my two children, and I was not gonna date anybody because I didn't know if I could trust anybody. And so after about a year of not dating anybody and people asking me and stuff, but no, I didn't want to go. I realized, well, okay, I need to look at character traits in people, and I need to ask God for the person that has the character traits that I would want in life. And so I started writing down character traits in a little book next to my bed before I went to sleep at night. And I would say, God, I don't know who this person is, but I know that you do. And if you could bring them to me in the right timing for their life and for my life, and make it easy for me to see that this is the person that I'm writing about in the person in front of me, then I would really very much appreciate it. Thank you and good night. So after a year of doing that, after about maybe 60 or so, I started watching people around me looking for extra character traits because I'd already gotten down honesty, integrity, empathy, kindness, friendship, patience. I'd gotten all the ones that I could think of all down. So I started watching people for character traits and I never put anything negative. I only put positive things. And one of the funny ones was that I actually wrote down must be tall, and my husband is 7 feet tall. So I ended up having my son introduce me. My son was in 8th grade, and he brought home a girl, and she was in 7th grade, and they wanted to go to a movie together. And it wasn't dating thing; it was just they were friends in the neighborhood. But I'd never seen her before, and so they asked me to come over and pick both of them up at her house, which was right around the corner from my house. And that's how I met my husband. He opened the front door when I knocked on it. It was her father. And they were putting us together, making us both go to the movie. And now we're 32 years into marriage. But he matches those 100. I had 116 things on that list. And he always funny says, if you'd shown me that list while we were dating, I would have run. So don't show the list if you're going out there and doing this. Just check them out and make sure they're good.
So how much of that would you say was you were working on creating the life that you wanted?
Very much so. Very, very much so. I didn't want to have that life that I'd had with the abuse and the anger and everything that I had been facing. I was living in fear. And so I didn't want to go that route anymore. And so doing that with finding the right person, I have a beautiful house. It's not big. It's not monstrous. Vinney knows. It's just sweet and beachy.
It's a mansion of light.
That's
It
right.
is.
And so, yeah, and then there's lots of other things that I've brought into my life as well. And really fun moments where, like, at a fundraiser, they'll be talking about they're giving away things up at the front, and I'm at my table with my husband and we're at the fundraiser, and they'll be giving away a car maintenance, and I'll go, and then they'll say, oh, and they're giving away something that I do want. And I'll go, Barbara Bartolome, Barbara Bartolome. And then they call out my name. And my husband goes, how do you do that? It's like, I wanted that really badly. So it's really pretty fun, just understand that you can bring those things into your life by wanting them and by asking the other side, and for asking God. What I call the other side is God. And just, asking for that help to bring into your life. And yeah, it is amazing how it can get delivered to you. It's
Well,
beautiful.
with a radiating love gratitude, because you naturally exude that because of your experience, I think, but you probably did it before too.
Yeah.
But you're radiating that gratitude as you ask,
Yep.
but you're
Yep.
also accepting whatever the outcome
Yeah.
is too.
Yeah, exactly. I don't all win every prize that I want, but I do win enough that I'm excited about it. I remember a special one that I won when I was 16 years old, long before my second NDE, long before I knew I'd had an NDE. I was in a mall that was giving away a car, and my mom, when I said, "Mom, you have to be a licensed driver. I don't have a license. Give me your license. I'll put an entry in for you." She said, "Barbie, we couldn't win that." She actually said a dirty sock. We couldn't win a dirty sock. And I said, "Mom, Mom." And so I grabbed her license, put in one entry, and out of 60,000 entries, my mom won the car. I knew it in my heart when I walked by it that I was supposed to win the car, and that's why
So
I got it.
you were listening to that intuition long
Oh,
before.
yeah. Long
Well,
before.
I got to get running, you guys, so I'm going to turn off my camera and start a session here. But I love you. Thanks for
you
joining us,
too.
Barbara.
We are going to continue our questions, but
Yeah, I've got a couple more burning questions. So as a follow-up to the you creating the life that you wanted, how much of that would you say was also you changing yourself, working on yourself to be ready for the life that you wanted?
Yeah, I think that's also important too, because if you, like, let's say that I had wanted to be extremely rich, which I don't. You can be extremely rich and completely unhappy. And you can have so many things that you have to do with that richness that your whole life is wrapped up around it. And that is not happiness. So I think that it's important to be very aware of what you really want and what really is going to be good for you, because if you start asking for something that you're not going to realize you have to deal with, that's going to be overwhelming, then that might not be a good, solution for you. So choose wisely.
It's important to be both intentional and aware of those things. And I'd say if you've got a trusted circle, discuss it with them and get some good, wise advice on that, and maybe build stuff together.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we're doing with Living God's Light. Is it's a team effort, and we're excited to have so many new and just fun people on that journey with us. It's been super.
I'm so glad you guys are doing it. It's beautiful. Yeah. You guys, I can feel your hearts through the screen here, and it is beautiful, and I can't wait to actually meet you in person. And I'm going to watch all your future and your past podcasts. So there we go.
Oh, that's so sweet. Lynn, you had a question yesterday that you...
Yeah, so I've got one more question, then Aliska's got a question that she likes to ask everybody as we wrap. So the question I've got for you is, what is the biggest, most important message that you have for the world as a result of your experience?
So my feeling is that we are all here multiple times. I feel that all of the aspects in our life are choices that we can make toward things, and that all those aspects that happen, all the things, all the different things that add up to who we are meant to grow us in this particular life that we're here in. And when you open yourself to God, to spirituality, to understanding that it's a bigger picture than what you see in front of you, then I think that it's a way that you can live and get answers from the other side and help from the other side that helps you through this particular life and through your learning processes in this life. So relying upon that is the best thing that you could possibly choose to do.
I love that. Such wise words.
Thank you.
All right, Barbara. Our last question for you that we like to leave is, how are you living God's light?
I am a volunteer. I have always been a volunteer. I do volunteer work currently at the Santa Barbara Police Department, and that's interesting. I also have volunteered all over town, but the one thing that I do beyond volunteering is that I adopt people. And I call it adopting by love. And so I have quite a few people here in Santa Barbara that are alone in their lives. Maybe they're older and they have children, but the children live far away and are very distant with them. Or maybe it's a little child that I've adopted that needed assistance because of some unbalancing in their family. Their father and mother were very unbalanced, and I recognized that I needed to be, helpful in that situation. So it's very important to reach out and touch other people and help other people as you move along through your life. There's lots of ways to just, even when you smile at a baby in a grocery shopping cart and you wave and you make little funny faces and stuff, you're making that baby feel happy. Usually, some babies go, "Oh." but but helping somebody carry their groceries out to the car, opening the door for somebody, having something extra and giving that away. I walk up to homeless people all the time, and I have an extra $5 or an extra $10. And I always say to them, I hope this buys you a meal. Now, it's not my job to judge what they're going to use that for. That is between them and the higher source. But what is my job is to give that with a good heart and with a kind spirit. And so I do that. And 99% of the time, they look me in the eye and I look them in the eye and they say, God bless you. And I hear their heart and I hear their soul through that. And I know that I was supposed to do that in that moment. And it makes my heart feel really good to do it. And it doesn't hurt me at all. It doesn't cost me anything. I've never been hurt, touched, punched, or anything by anyone who I've given the money to. And I've given it to many, many, many thousands. So I really feel that when you can figure out, the way that works for you to help someone else out there, whether it be through volunteering, whether it be through adopting by love, whether it be through giving donations, it's up to you. But that makes your heart realize that you're here to do good work and that you're touching lives by doing that good work.
Wow. You truly are, you just emanate love, and I can tell that you live your life in service of that love. So thank you so much, Barbara. This has been such a wonderful conversation. You've opened my heart to even more of God's love, and I'm so, so grateful to that. Lynn, do you have any last words?
Oh, agreed. I just, Barbara, from the first time I met you at IANDS, just fell in love with you. I feel the same way as Vinney, kind of our IANDS mom. And
yay! And I adopt you both.
And yeah, I agree with Alyssa. Just that I was going to use the word love a lot, but I really appreciate people that embody that love and just emanate it. It's like standing next to a heater on a cold day, and just the warmth, and it's kind of like getting a warm blanket wrapped around you, where you're like, okay, life is good. I mean, life can be hard, but it's people that share that love and emanate that love that give the warmth on the cold days. And you do that all the time. I just love you and appreciate you for that.
Thank you very much. I hope it's a gift that I can give out through your podcast to many others. And I hope that is a little bit of change in the world. And that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you.
Good. Love you
too, guys.
And I cannot wait to hug you when I get to meet you.
And I can't wait to see you. Come to the IANDS conference, and I will come to Las Vegas to see your conference, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on the Living God's Light podcast. You can help keep the show going through getting merch at livinggodslight.com or contributing what you think the show is worth on our website or by going through Patreon. Thank you for sharing your light with the world. You are making a difference, and we love you.